Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Asian Dating Podcast. My name is May, your host, and today I have Shally May, who is also an Asian matchmaker who I've known for many, many years, and we do a lot of matching together. And I'm so pleased that she can join us today on the show. And I wanted to tell you a little bit about her. So I'm going to read about her bio for you to meet who she is. So Shally is a certified professional matchmaker and a certified relationship coach with deep psychology background. In years of working with the most eligible single men and women, she has established herself as the premier elite matchmaker for her unique niche. Shally successfully established a career in corporate America early in her life, however, found herself feeling miserable, empty, confused, and sad in her love journey. Having experienced 2 failed marriages and other broken relationships, she knew there had to be a way to balance a successful career and to have a fulfilling relationship. Undeterred from her experience, she set out to crack the happiness code while working 2 jobs and raising her 2 young children as a single mom in the San Francisco Bay Area. What started as a selfish attempt to find the love of her own turned out to become a personal mission and passion to help other singles who want their very own version of happily ever after. Today, Shally lives happily with her husband, Jim, and helping singles across the country on finding their true happiness in love. So welcome, Shally, to
Thank you.
the podcast. That is an amazing bio. And I didn't know you were married twice before.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, this is my third marriage. So
Okay.
I've been, going through a lot until today, who I am. I actually wrote a book.
Oh, you did? Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So,
We'll share
so
that.
it's interestingly, I was a relationship coach, dating coach before I became a matchmaker. So I actually coached a lot of women. That's why I feel I resonate with all the professional women.
Yeah.
This is the, relate to today's topic because I was one of them.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Worked for corporate for so many years. Yeah.
How many years were you in corporate America?
16 years.
Okay, 16 years. So
Yeah,
that's a
yeah.
long time. That's a long time. So,
Yeah, but you know what? The whole time I wasn't feel fulfilling at all. It
mhm,
just goes through the motion, of course, good pay,
yeah,
but somehow it just something's missing in
yeah,
my life. Of
right.
course, plus the failed marriage, the divorce, the single mom, responsibility. Yeah, it was like 10 years was kind of a miserable.
Wow, 10 years. That's
Yeah,
a long time. I'm glad
yeah,
you
yeah.
found your calling now. Like it seems like becoming a matchmaker, I think, and being an entrepreneur, actually, you learn a lot about yourself because you learn about failed business and different business ideas. And to be a matchmaker, you kind of go through all of that. So, so you were a very successful woman. And today we're going to talk about some things that successful women need to know on how to be feminine and attract men, right? That's our topic today.
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay. I'll let you
So,
dive in and take the floor.
well, it was all down to, as a human being, we have a masculine energy and we have a feminine energy. All human beings have a both, but as a woman, we actually, naturally should have a more feminine energy. However, in today's modern, life, work, we have to step up. We have to get results. So naturally, we carry more masculine energy. And the masculine energy in relationship, it's actually against the intimacy
Hmm.
because a man, as a man, of course, men have a masculine energy and a feminine energy, but their core energy is masculine. So man is, masculine. They don't want to feel, competition in a relationship with another human being. The
Hmm.
whole reason they want to get into intimate relationship is they want to feel relaxed. They
Right.
want to feel they can, you know, be trusted. Yeah. So, but however, I noticed, I mean, including myself, you know, my two failed marriages, it really gave me a big lesson because I was one of them, you know, take lead and criticize, blame the man, you know, in my life. That's how it won't work. Yeah,
Right.
it won't work. So I devoted a lot of the time, not only, you know, learning myself how to be feminine and also into a coaching space as well
Mhm.
to teach, you know, ladies how to tap into their feminine energy. Mhm.
So how does one tap into their feminine energy when they're dating? Like, what did you learn from your two marriages?
So you know, let's talk about dating, right? And we talk about all the professional women, and one of them, you know, the traits, they are very successful because they are very result oriented, right? They are very focused. They want to achieve, you know, success in workplace,
Right.
but that result driven and that, you know, achieving energy, doing energy actually is not good in dating.
Mhm.
In dating, what do we need to really do is just relax, you
Mm.
know, be receptive and receiving, let the man lead.
Right.
And I noticed, you know, just talk about first date. Many women went on first date, they actually had a mission. They want to figure out if the guy sitting in front of them is the one. So they've been asking, you know, all the questions, right? It's kind of like an interview.
Right.
Yeah. So men will feel not happy, you know, after first date, like they are not enjoy the process.
Right. Right.
Oh,
So
mhm.
what does that mean? So for a successful woman to be on the date, they should not talk about their job. They should not talk about how successful they are, how much money they make, what kind of car they drive, but they should talk about their interests. They should talk about what they like to do for fun, like concentrate more on the feminine side of their personality.
Well, I think it takes couple of days to really get into, you know, the detail about how they're successful there. And I think the first date is really just, you know, talk about, like you said, the interest, you know, what the passion for life,
Mhm.
you know, ask their goals in life or ask their partner what, you know, their date, what their passion, what their interest. So the first date should be very light, not really trying to figure out if this is the person you want to get married or if
Right.
he's the one.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I always say the first mission for the first date, the mission for the first date is to see if you feel have a fun with this person. You want to go to the second date with him.
Right. Right. And just not place so much energy or worry about all
The
the other
result.
stuff that doesn't matter yet, like just get to know him, be in the moment instead of trying to figure out what kind of questions to ask him as if it was an interview. I think, yeah, I caution my successful women going on dates all the time. It's like let the guy lead, let him have fun with you, let him just talk to you as a person. And I remember when I was in the corporate world, I was not a good dater. I was focused on telling him about how hardworking I was, how many hours I worked. I talked about my job a lot. And looking back, it's like, oh, I mean, that was a huge mistake. Like, they don't want to know about how much money you make. They don't care, actually. I've never had a
Yeah.
guy
Yeah.
come to
Mhm.
me and say, oh, I want a woman that makes as much money as me. Like, nobody, none of the guys say that. They just want to know about a nice, kind, fun, gentle, considerate woman. Like the other stuff they don't even care about. Like men are so much more forgiving when it comes to first dates. Like, how does she make me feel on the date? Does she make me feel good? Make me feel like I was wanted, needed? If that's the case, he'll probably go out with you again.
Yeah, so that's why it's very important that for us, you know, as a women, go on first date. It's like it's a relaxing. It should be like, oh, you get off work, you go on date, and it's the time you relax
Right,
and
right,
not trying to figure out, you know, where this relationship going, if he's the one. am I gonna marry him or not? What his past, those things. Yeah, definitely not be on the first few dates.
I
Mm.
think for women and men actually to go on a date from transitioning from their workspace and then to their going out time, they kind of need to physically undress and get into their date outfit so they could like leave their suit and tie at home or leave that work energy at home or that work masculine energy at work or whatever that may be. I feel like they need to, you know, physically make the shift to get out of their scrubs or get out of their suits or high heels and then put something on that's fun and date ready, let your hair
Yeah,
down, like
yeah,
that stuff. I think
yeah.
sometimes single people go out on so many dates that they forget that you need to go back to the basics, right? Like you need to just have fun. You need to focus on the person in front of you, that kind of stuff. So what else? What else should successful women be mindful when they're going out on dates, when they're trying to meet a guy?
Well, another thing is not to grill their past. So I heard a lot from guys telling me on the not necessarily on the first date, but the first few dates they started, asking why you're so successful and your past relationship didn't work out. What's going on? So they really started like a kind of like investigate what's going on. Behind the history, and guys actually don't like that.
Right.
And one guy, my client actually told me, I just want to, relax and enjoy the conversation, enjoy the companionship. I don't want to like being on the hot seat and revisit my past, my history.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
so that's another one. Some ladies I noticed that because they didn't date a lot, they were so scared they will get into a bad relationship. That's why they want to ask all these questions beforehand to make sure he
Right.
is good. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I totally get that. Like I can see how guys after a long day of work, they're excited to meet you, a fabulous woman who's single and to see if there's a connection and just have a good dinner, some great conversation and maybe meet somebody that they want to date again. But then if the woman is grilling them with all these questions, it's like, "Oh my gosh, this is just the first date or, why are we doing this already?" So yeah, I could totally see that being a turn off for
yeah.
guys. Yeah, I
That
get
that's
it.
one thing. Another is a question is coming with, how much money you're making, like when you want to get married, when you want to have a kids,
Yeah,
those questions. I oftentimes told ladies because when they come into us, especially guys, right, they already have a commitment in mind. They want to get married, they want to have a kids, but it's not necessarily they're gonna marry you right away. They still want to develop the relationship to see if it's compatible. But some ladies, because they are, you know, in a way feel there's an urgency, the timeline, so they want to kind of figure it out in the first 2 months, like when this guy,
right.
want to get married. And they will ask me to ask the guy. It's
Yeah,
yeah,
but that's the beauty of working with a matchmaker. Like we already know how much money he makes. We already know if he wants to have a kid. We already know if he's relationship minded, marriage minded. And we take all this information and we've already passed it on to her, to the woman. So when they go out on the date, she knows that he wants to have kids. But you don't need to bring that up now. Like you could bring it up after you've kissed, maybe bring it up after you've slept together or after the third date, even. But it doesn't have to be first date material. But I totally get it. Like it's almost like even though I send a profile to a woman sometimes and it has all the information, she sometimes wants to double check with the guy on the first date. And that's when he's like, whoa, he wasn't ready for that. But that's our job. Our job is to match these two people up who wants these core values. Um, I mean, that's the beauty of hiring a matchmaker, right? It's like they get the inside scoop. So I guess it's some kind of training you have to do with the women to kind of say, hey, you said you were okay meeting a guy who has two kids these are the ages, just so you know, he qualifies, you don't have to like interrogate him on the date with the information that you already knew, you know?
Yeah, but
Um,
however, this is a part of we talk about the masculine energy want to control the result
right.
because they're afraid. Last night I just talked to a girl. She was dating this guy for a month, and the guy already told her, and he likes her, and he wants to take slow, but they go on dates every week.
Uh-huh.
And she still called me. She said, "Well, it's been a month, and we only do dinner, and it should be something else." I said, "What else you're expecting?"
Right.
Yeah, because she's already like ahead of time. She wants to make another move and feel it's too slow. But I said, you know, the guy already told me, and
Right.
she wants to get married, want to have another child. He's divorced, but definitely another child or one or two kids. That's
Right.
for sure.
Right.
Because we had that discussion. I said we had that discussion, so this part you don't have to worry.
Right.
You're only in 1 month into the relationship. It's still
Right.
too. Yeah, but she's that's what I mean. It's not being into the feminine energy. What's feminine energy? Lots of people asking me. It is really the soft, the flow energy.
Mhm.
You know, we go the flow of the life,
Right. Right.
not trying to get the results, trying to develop some strategy.
Do you find that women in their 40s um, exude more masculine energy, or women in their 30s as well? Like, does it differ as their age range goes up, or is it differ when they're pressured to have kids? Like they have a timeline for that. Like, what do you think? Or is it just
Yeah, I think no, I think start at 35, women already starting have that energy because I think it's also that the clock is ticking.
Mhm.
And
Right.
women in their 40 and the 50s, even more because they're already used to that energy.
Right.
Some
Right.
of women already in a high position in a corporate, in a company. So they're used to that leading position. They want to lead, they want to get the results, they
Right.
want to criticize. Yeah, they just
Right.
get used to that, focus, that those, a single mom actually could be very masculine because, as a single mom, you want to make sure your kids, everything okay. So
Right.
you really, in that leadership position.
Mhm.
And all I want to say is in relationship, I'm not asking you just because as a human, you cannot just like, okay, get rid of one energy and have another one. You have a both, but you know how to switch.
Right.
So it's like when you go on date, just like you said, you may change your outfit, put a little makeup, so suddenly your energy switch to the feminine energy. Yeah.
So that's all. I feel like maybe that's our jobs as matchmakers to tell all the women to make sure they exude the feminine energy. Like they just need a reminder. Maybe they don't know. Maybe they didn't know that how they're acting is a little bit too aggressive or more aggressive, So I don't know. Do you
Yeah, that's
recommend?
great. It's the energy is already inside us. It's not like we can buy it, money to buy it. We just need to tap into
Right.
that energy. Yeah, yeah. So
Okay.
like, what you were asking, what the ways to tap into, self-love, know how to be relaxed, how to connect into our own emotion, be
Mhm.
authentic. Many women, including old me, didn't know how to express our own feelings. We all stuffed it in
Mhm.
something. If we're not happy, we don't want to say it because we don't want to offend other people, so we stuffed it in. But at a certain level, we up here we just blow up. That's why
Right.
you see some people angry, right? Because angry is like the accumulation of unhappy emotion and then exploded at some point. Yeah.
Right. Is this
So
what your book talks about? Your book talks
yes,
about this?
yes,
Show
yeah.
me your book again. I
Here's my
can't
book.
see it.
Yeah. So
What is
I
it?
lay out the 7 steps. Can you see?
Hold it back a little bit.
Hold it back.
Okay. Conscious journey to a lasting love. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So what does your book
So,
talk about again?
so in the book, I lay out 7 proven steps to attract the true love and
Mm,
have a lasting relationship.
okay.
So, including some of my own story and also the story, other women I coached for the past years.
Yeah.
There's 6 chapters.
Uh-huh.
So each chapter I lay out a different, step. Like the feminine we talk about will be in the chapter 3. So in that chapter, specifically talk about how to have the feminine energy, tap into the feminine energy. Of course, also talk about self-love and how to have the positive belief, how to break through the relationship pattern.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's an interesting book.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
would highly recommend it. So even like I'm a matchmaker, and occasionally I still do I call the women's retreat.
Mhm.
So all the women will get together. We just pick a beautiful place, have a champagne and a wine. It just really I want to teach women like how to relax.
Right. Right. Yeah.
It's really because sometimes we forgot how to relax.
Right. No, I agree. I think we take on too much nowadays, we're
Yes,
expected
yeah,
to cook and we're expected to clean, we're expected to still have a full-time job and take care of your kids. And like you said, if you're a single mom, that's even harder. You're the mom and dad, so there's a lot of stuff going on. So okay,
yeah.
so
But
we mentioned that.
you
Yeah.
know what? Actually, dating is relaxing. But
Dating
lots of
should be
women,
relaxing. Right.
yeah. Lots of ladies, they didn't realize because they want to find out if that person is the one. So it's like they're going on date still with a mission.
Right.
And it's not.
Right.
Dating, like you said, always open-minded. You just go on date. You enjoy yourself. You enjoy the other person.
Right.
I used to tell ladies if they are too uptight, on the first date, I would say, even when you sit down, you'll find out that this person may not be the one ideal one you're looking for, but I want you to just observe the person and give me the 5 good things you like about this person.
Right.
That way you are in the mode and not criticize the person in front of you. And it's really like appreciated another human being to
Mhm.
find out, oh, he has this quality I really like. Oh, he knows about, a lot. He's, passionate about life. So give me 5 things you like about this person. You don't have to go on second date with him if you don't like,
Right.
but at least put you in the positive mindset, because
Do they?
they,
Do they do that? Do they go on these dates and then they report back to you like, hey, we're not a match, but these are the 5 things
yes,
I liked about
yes,
you. So,
yes.
okay.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
that way it almost helps you um uncover some of the things about them, what kind of characteristics they're looking for in the next match, right? So it can also
Yes.
help you.
Yes. But
So
also help them get out of their own head because
right,
they were trying to figure out if this person is the one,
right,
or his hair is, he's bald or he teeth problem or something, right?
right,
Or his
right,
ex has a problem. It's just really to appreciate another person.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. What else? Is there a fourth? Did we go through 3 points or 4 points?
3, yeah.
Okay,
So
what's
I
the
think
fourth
the
one?
next one first will be just know how to surrender. Uh, Many, people go on lots of dates
Mhm.
and they get frustrated because things not happening the way they wanted. Uh, so there's a saying, if you take massive action, you have to give a grace time, right? So just, yeah, replace the expectation with appreciation. It
Right,
is really is for ladies, I told them, those guys, they take you out, they pay dinner. You really have to appreciate the time. They're driving all the way. Most of the guys will drive to where near you, right, where you live. And it just appreciate it, you spend the time with him and he's taking you out. It's okay if he's not the one.
right,
As long as you're open-minded, the one will show up.
right. Yeah, I agree. I think that when you go on a date and if you can't be pleasant for an hour or 45 minutes and you just can't talk to anybody and have a decent time, then gosh, you got to look internally and wonder why you can't have a decent time with just anybody for 45 minutes. Come on, you can look on the bright side of something like, oh, it's a new restaurant you're trying, or a new dish you're
Exactly.
trying, or learning about this new person who could potentially be a friend or business partner down the road. Like you just never know. Yeah, that's
Well,
really
because some
good.
of them
That's
told me they didn't want to waste their time because they're busy, you
right,
know. So they feel like, okay, if I sit down with someone, I know, he's not gonna be my partner, and I'm kind of wasting my time.
right,
So that's another like masculine energy,
right,
Yeah,
right.
they want to get a result right away.
Right. It's like just
Yeah,
relax, have
I know.
fun,
Yeah.
order something you like, or yeah, that's okay. Okay, surrender. That's a good one. What's number five?
So number five is really open-minded.
Mhm. Okay.
And to remember as the one will show up. You cannot fix somebody to become the one.
Right.
Many women, they trying to, like, if I like the guy, he has certain things I don't like, I will try to fix him, like
Mhm.
to fit into my ideal partner. It won't work that way. Yeah. So it's really open-minded and let the one show up.
Right.
It's really the allowing energy.
Mhm. Yeah.
I have in my years of matchmaking, I noticed the women, if they are really open-minded, they usually go on all the dates I suggested, and they found love quickly.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if we
For,
had,
for men too, yeah,
right,
right?
right.
Yeah,
It's when clients ask me what my success rate is, I say it's very, very high if you're very open-minded and you meet all the people I refer you and all the people I send to you. If you say yes, I can get you in a relationship. The ones who I have the toughest time with are the ones that always say no. It's like, okay, just because you hired a matchmaker doesn't mean I can just magically have this person appear. I mean, you still have to do the work. You still have to be nice to people. You still have to ask them out. You still need to pay attention to them on the date and be a good dater. Like, you just don't know.
yeah,
Yeah, be
yeah.
open-minded. Yeah, if I were to go back in time and be a single person out in the dating world, I know I will get snatched up really quickly because I know now how to be a good dater, how to be a great dater. It's so easy, right? Like you talk to couples and you're like, it's so easy to be a good boyfriend, a good girlfriend, or good husband or good wife. Like, I just feel like that stuff is easy if you want to learn and if you want to apply those things to your relationships. So yeah, I agree. I agree with that. Being
Yeah, yeah.
open-minded is key. So
It's a trusted process.
right.
I have one lady. She actually, because I noticed that all the people have a pattern. We have an ideal partner that the kind of a type. So
Mhm.
there's one lady who dated a lot, wasn't successful. I asked her, so she told me is all the she dated a lot, but all the guys kind of like the same. They may have a different name, they all look different,
Right.
but somehow the pattern it's repeating. So
Mhm.
this is why I asked her to break the pattern,
Right.
to go out with the people she used to not go out with.
Right.
So she really listened, and then finally she met a husband. Her husband is totally out of her type, but they're
Right.
still being married 5 years and going strong.
Right.
So now she's that big, big talker to tell people not to stick with your pattern,
I
because
know.
her husband is totally, totally out of her pattern. She
Yeah.
couldn't even imagine. Yeah,
I like that. I like that. Okay. Well, I have a couple more questions for you.
sure. Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Do you ever have men that ask for successful women? Do you ever have men that say, "Oh, I don't mind a type A woman. I don't mind boardroom in the bedroom"? Are there certain type of men or a percentage of men that actually prefers women who are super successful and super smart and educated?
So, so far, among so many years of a match making, I only have one lawyer that told me and he likes A type,
Mhm.
only one. Like he likes women, successful, ambitious, and driven, better no kids. So the rest, all the guys, they actually don't care. I mean, they will respect, admire if a lady are very successful, but that's not the intimacy setting they're looking into. You have to be making a lot of money, have to be successful, because
Right,
that's not what they're looking for.
right, right.
Yeah. They just back to what we talked before. They are looking for someone they can feel trust
Mhm.
and they can feel relaxed, have a fun together. That's very important.
Right, right. Yeah, I think in the 13, 14 years that I've been doing this, I've had a handful of guys that are like, no, I want her to be super successful. I want us to be a power couple. I want us to um, both make good money. So there are men out there that want that. And I feel like that's great. I would love to search for guys who want that. But I would say majority of my men are also kind of like your men, where they're like, I just want someone nice and kind and fun and someone I could trust, someone who's honest, someone who I could go on vacations with and explore and things like that. And so majority of my clients want somebody who is not type A. So I feel like the women who are type A, they can be closet type A, but they don't have to exude all that type A energy on a date. They could just hold
Exactly.
it back a little bit and let them unpeel the layers later. I don't know. I mean, yeah.
Exactly. This is what exactly we talked in the beginning. So it's like you can be type A at the workplace, but when
Mhm.
you are into dating, into an intimate relationship, you know how to switch that feminine energy, become sexy, become, so it's a different, totally you can do it.
Right.
Just be type A and then become a feminine in a relationship. Men
Yeah.
will love it.
Right.
Men will love it. That. Yeah.
I feel like I am type A. Well, I had a type A job in the corporate world. I used to work for Enterprise Rent-A-Car for 11 years. That was my first job out of college and got promoted and all that stuff. So I get it. I get that you have to be type A at work to be successful, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you're on a date, you just have to be a girly girl sometimes, wear a dress, put on some makeup, do your hair, and be feminine. So I totally get it. I totally get it. So
I was a type A too. I think I'm still type A.
yeah.
But you cannot change that. But I just more conscious, how to switch that energy in a different setting. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I
Mhm.
agree. I agree. Let's see. One other question I have. Okay, so in the how many years did you say you've been a matchmaker for, a dating coach for?
Total 10 years.
10
Yeah.
years. Okay.
Yeah.
So in
Yeah.
the 10 years that you've been doing this, you have daughters, right? I think you have one
I
daughter.
have a
Okay.
son, one daughter.
One
Yeah.
son, one daughter. So what is one dating tip you would give your daughter coming through the ranks of dating that you feel like if I tell her this one dating tip, she will implement it? Like, what is that one important dating tip for your daughter?
My daughter just next to me.
Oh, is she? Okay, maybe she
Yeah.
can answer this.
She's 15. She's actually knows more than me about relationship. They were reading the fan fiction stuff. It's all about relationship
Oh,
nowadays.
funny.
Why are you quoting me?
Okay,
Yeah.
so let's say your daughter will just take one piece of advice from you, whether it's once she starts dating or down the road. What is one piece of advice you would give her?
I would just say having fun.
Yeah, have fun, right? I
Have
mean,
fun. Yeah. And
yeah,
if she comes back, I would say, are you having fun with this person?
right.
That's all I ask her to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, that's good. I mean, I feel like it's a bummer when people are like, "Ugh, online dating, I hate it," or oh my gosh, dating is awful, or their mentality about dating is so poor. It's like you need to switch that mindset. Like of course you're going to have a crappy date if you go into a date thinking that dating sucks and you're talking to the guy about how miserable online dating was. I guess my one piece of advice would be like, okay, yes, have fun, But at the same time is you got to change your mindset about dating. It's like you can't just go around saying how awful dating is, because then you're going to have an awful date.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
if you
Yes.
decide that, you know what, I'm going to have a great time tonight. This is meeting a new person. We have tons of things in common based on our online profiles. And then you just go and just, again, have fun. But yes, just have a good mindset about,
Have a fun without expectation.
right?
Yeah, without knowing where this relationship going.
Right.
You don't have to know.
Right.
You know, in the first couple of months, there's no need to know where this relationship going. Let the relationship unfolding organically.
Right. Right. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Mhm.
Well,
Yeah.
I think these are all great dating tips. How would someone find you if they want to work with you?
Well, you can text me, call me 925-457-2969, or just get on website. You
Okay.
know, all the information is on my website.
What's your website?
EliteAsianMatchmaker.com.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, Shally, thank you so much for spending your time with me today. And for those people out there, if you guys have any questions, any comments, please email me at may@2asiamatchmakers. Please subscribe, like our video, share our video, and thank you so much. And we'll talk some more later. Bye.
Okay, thank you. Bye. Bye-bye.